Many teachers and education groups are asking for the Starr test to be postponed again due to the pandemic. Mr. Parker says many students and staff would probably like it if we didn't have the Starr test again because he says we would have no way of knowing how we have progressed through the year.
The Starr test, as much as we don't like doing it, as much as we don't like taking the test, it gives us a lot of good information, a lot of good data on how we do as far as teaching and you guys do as far as learning.
He also says even if we were to take it in the spring, the data on learning and teaching may not be that accurate.
When you're in the middle of a pandemic and you have kids who are learning virtually and who are having to switch classes or switch schedules because they have to be quarantined. So we have teachers who are doing the best that they can.
Mr. Parker says it's not just the outcome, it's the preparation for it.
But they've never had to teach like they're having to teach now. And so they're having to learn different ways to do things that some of them have done for 20 years.
It's not just the teachers that have been affected by the pandemic. It's also the students, 7th grade ELAR teacher Ms. Moss says. She sees a lot of her students already stressed out in class. She also sees a struggle with virtual students.
This year it's been a little bit of a growing curve coming back in person, and it's great because it's going really well, but I think it would be beneficial for Starr to be pushed back a little bit more if the state agrees to that, because then students wouldn't have to stress about Starr as much and they could focus more on getting caught up. And I think it would be helpful especially for virtual students who aren't getting the in-class experience as much. It would kind of level the playing field more, and everyone would just be able to focus on what they're learning versus passing a test.
8th grade math teacher Mr. Goff disagrees and thinks it's important to have students take the Starr even though we are in a pandemic.
I feel like the Starr test has always been a way for me to know, am I actually a good teacher or not? And so, if all my kids get hundreds, I know I did a good job this year.
Goff also says they are already on track to learning what they need to know compared to last year at this time.
I think we would lose out on a little bit of the information of knowing, like, how well do our kids know algebra leaving Willow Springs.
For Willow Springs News, this is Ava Haas,
Campbell Lester,
And Mckinley Seib reporting.